Flags raised, and they're off. And the Grade 1 John Durkan Memorial Punchestown Chase. A talented group make their way to the first of 15 fences over almost 2.5 miles. It's the stable companions, Gaelic Warrior and Fastorslow, being followed by Fastorslow. Heartwood next as they come to the fence on the approach to the straight number 2. Gaelic Warrior and Fastorslow. They rise a few lengths in front of Heartwood and Fastorslow. Grange Clare West on the inside. Then Lecky Watson and the start cap, I Know the Way You're Thinking, as they swing into the straight. And Gaelic Warrior moves on by over 3.5 lengths from Fastorslow. And third is Heartwood, then Fastorslow, Lecky Watson and Grange Clare West alongside as they come to fence number 3, first of 2 before the winning post. In the lead is Gaelic Warrior from Fastorslow, then Heartwood and Fastorslow, and then Grange Clare West and Lecky Watson, and on the outside Sanicia with James de Burleigh, followed by I Know the Way You're Thinking, and I Am Maximus, and the quartered cap is trailing a well-strung out field with a circuit to go and 11 more fences left to jump. Gaelic Warrior and Paul Townend have gone a long way clear of Fastorslow and Mark Walsh in second. Third is Heartwood and Dad O'Keefe from Fastorslow, and fourth JJ Slevin. Then Grange Clare West and Brian Hayes. Lecky Watson next, Sean O'Keefe, being followed to fence number 5 by James de Burleigh and Danny Gilligan. On the inside is I Know the Way You're Thinking and Keith Donoghue. And then Sanicia, Sean Flanagan, and finally I'm Maximus and Derek O'Connor. Uphill they go to fence number 6, and well clear of the field is Gaelic Warrior. Fastorslow second, third is Heartwood, and fourth is Fastorslow. There's been very few changes in the order. Grange Clare West next on the inside of Lecky Watson, followed by James de Burleigh, Sanicia, I Know the Way You're Thinking, and I Am Maximus. Making the descent to the next 2 fences, which are 7 and 8, bringing them towards the halfway stage. And with the commanding advantages, Gaelic Warrior. Fastorslow second, and third is Heartwood, followed by Fastorslow. Fence 7 at the foot of the course. Gaelic Warrior up and over, a long way clear. Fastorslow second, then Heartwood in third, and Fastorslow in fourth, on now to the first of 2 ditches. Gaelic Warrior into this ditch, safely over from Fastorslow, and then Heartwood and Fastorslow. Lecky Watson is next, then Grange Clare West, James de Burleigh, Sanicia, I Know the Way You're Thinking, and I Am Maximus. Turning down the far side with 7 more fences left to jump. In the Grade 1 John Durkan Memorial Punchestown Chase, and with a big lead, Gaelic Warrior and Paul Townend. Going towards the first of 3 in the back straight. Over from Fastorslow, who's just coming into negotiated, and then Heartwood and Fastorslow. The field continues very well strung out, going to 6 fences from the finish. Gaelic Warrior at the middle one in the back straight, just put down there, but safely to the other side from Fastorslow. In third is Heartwood and then Fastorslow. Lecky Watson, James de Burleigh. Falling back is Grange Clare West. The last ditch fight from the finish. Gaelic Warrior was low there, but again okay. From Fastorslow, a little bit closer in second. And then Heartwood and Fastorslow, James de Burleigh, Lecky Watson, Grange Clare West. I Know the Way You're Thinking, I Am Maximus and Sanicia. 5 furlongs to go and 4 more fences left to jump as they pass the point at which they started. And it is Gaelic Warrior and Paul Townend turning towards the 4th last fence. It was their first from Fastorslow, Mark Walsh, then Heartwood and Dad O'Keefe at the 4th last fence. Gaelic Warrior into it. Safely over from Fastorslow. In third place is Heartwood. And then Fastorslow. Not many have got into this. They're coming towards the fence, which is homeward bound, and 3 from the end. And with a greatly reduced advantage, Gaelic Warrior from Fastorslow, who jumps to be within 3 lengths. Continuing some distance clear of Heartwood and Fastorslow. James de Burleigh is next, running the home turn. 2 more fences left to jump. And it's the stable companions, Gaelic Warrior and Fastorslow, separated by 3 lengths with 2 to go. Gaelic Warrior, Paul Townend from Fastorslow and Mark Walsh. These 2 have the finish to themselves. The second last, Gaelic Warrior, gathered in by Fastorslow, who's coming there on the outside. 1 fence left to jump. And the Grade 1 John Durkan Memorial Punchestown Chase, and Fastorslow draws level with Gaelic Warrior. The final fence, Fastorslow File from Gaelic Warrior on the inside, who's giving his all. Fact to File flat out from Gaelic Warrior on the inside. They're running up towards the finish. Gaelic Warrior has won the John Durkan Memorial Punchestown Chase in spirited fashion from Fact to File. Fastorslow remote third, Hardwood in fourth.
Willie Mullins just coming in to join us after that epic John Durkan Memorial Punchestown Chase in which he had the 1-2. Willie, I hope you were remaining neutral in the closing stages there, but what a race. Will we see a better race this season, do you think?
I don't think so. I mean, it was amazing. I asked both jockeys going out what they wanted to do. Both said they wanted to be forward, and we didn't know whether someone else was going to make the running, but Paul said the minute the tape went up, that Gaelic Warrior took it in his hands. He said, I'm going forward, and he was just so exuberant over the first few fences. Paul didn't have much say in it, so he said he better just sit there, hang on, and let the horse set his own fractions, which he did. And then making that mistake, was it the fifth last, I think, or sixth last, whichever, you could see that his stride was shortening, and Paul just sat trying to fill him up with air, and it paid off. He said, you know, I'll try and fill up and get a little bit of air into him for one last effort over the last couple of fences, and that worked out. And you know, Mark was there just stalking him. I thought it was all over.
Paul said he thought the same, in fairness. Yeah. Could you believe Gaelic Warrior was able to dig in and get back up?
No, I couldn't really, but you know, so it was an extraordinary race for two fantastic horses.
Last weekend obviously was all about your star novices, Copec de Board and Final Demand. These are kind of almost like the two more established versions, aren't they? Yeah. Gaelic Warriors, the Copec de Board, and Fact to File, the Final Demand.
Those fine big chasers that we all strive to have. You know, it's lovely having a champion hurdle horse, but having horses that can put in exhibitions of jumping and galloping and racing like that over fences is what jump racing is all about, I think, anyhow.
The John Durkan Memorial, Willie, is one of the marquee races in the Irish racing calendar. How important was it for you, especially with the move back in the calendar, that your horses came here and showed the importance of this race? Yeah,
I mean, I love this race. I've always loved it. And it's more poignant too because I used to ride for Bill Durkan, rode plenty of winners from over the years, so I know all the Durkans. So it's fantastic to meet them all here again today. But it's a very important race, you know, in the whole national hunt scene in the calendar.
Will we see the two of them go their separate ways at Christmas, do you think?
I imagine I'd like to try and send one to Kempton and one to Fairhill or Leopardstown, but we'll see how they recover out of that, you know. So they've had a tough enough race. I didn't expect that tougher race for them, but you know, they were both fitting well coming here too.
Just before we let you go, Westport Cove, bit like Gaelic Warrior, he looked beaten in the novice chase but came back to win. How pleased by what he's done over the past few months?
I'm delighted because I didn't think he'd handle this winter ground, but Paul, when he came in off him, he said this ground is not as bad as the hurdle track. The chase track is riding a lot better, I think, and he thought that was going to give him a little bit of a help on Gaelic Warrior, and so he proved right.
Final question, Willie, what about Drumban in the bumper here as we come back down to her?
Yeah, he's a lovely big chasing type horse as well. I'm getting him out here today, just looking at him there with the number cloth. He looks a bit big, but I don't know what price he is, but he's fitting well. But I would have said maybe he'll improve for the run.
We shall watch him with interest. Thanks, Willie. Well done.
Cheers. Thanks a lot.
Paul Townend joins us after another epic John Durkan Memorial Punchestown Chase, which went the way of Gaelic Warrior. Paul, it was some race for us watching it. What was it like to be involved in? Never mind come out the right side of it.
Yeah, it was exciting for me anyway. I didn't see too much of it either. No, look, he was fresh and he wanted to get on with it, and I let him run to the first, and he ran for a lot longer than that. But I just, in fairness to him, he jumped very well and clean, and gave himself a chance to be able to repel Mark when he came, but it was a proper horse race.
Talk to us about the decision to let him roll today. At the end of last season, he was held up and he had those back-to-back wins at Aintree, at Sandown. What was the thinking behind maybe just let him strut forward?
I just wasn't sure what was going to take me, and like, would I get in control of the race rather than, you know, let someone else dictate it to me? I didn't. Look, I'm not going to lie and say it was the plan to go out and do that. He got lit up, and after a couple of fences I thought I was after doing the wrong thing. But you can't say I didn't have a willing partner, that's for sure.
Jumping, I thought, was superb in the early part of the race. Got a little bit lower maybe in the second half. Were there any anxious moments for you in that front?
No, I've been around enough places on him now, and I trust him. But it was a concern was the petrol tank emptier than I thought. Even we'll say the second last and the last down the back, but he was just doing it and gave himself a chance, from there around into the home straight to put his head down and battle.
Did you actually feel the game was up when Fastorslow headed you?
Honestly, yeah, for his stride I did, but I didn't know how much ground Mark had to make up, and did he have to do it on his own and up against the things, how he jumped. I knew I wasn't out with the wash and I knew I wasn't going to stop, but it was looking unlikely for a second, yeah.
I mean, a bit like Kopek de Boer we saw the other day. I mean, this horse has got incredible ability. He was even like half full of himself on the walkway back into the parade ring, wasn't he? He's just a remarkable horse.
He's a tough horse. He's a hardy devil, and he's a very, very talented horse.
He's ended up, I suppose, having a tough race today. Is that a concern at all in terms of the road that stretches out ahead of him now?
Would you prefer have an easier race? Obviously. But
today was important, though.
It was important. It's a Grade 1. It's an important race, and if he does nothing for the rest of the season, he's a Grade 1 winner now. So we always talk this race as stepping stones, but it's a big race and a good pot to win in its own right.
I think the King George obviously is the aim. Do you think he'll take the beating there if he's in that sort of form?
You'd like to ride him around there anyway, I think. Yeah.
Well done, cheers.
Thank you.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.